I'm Dr. Jennifer Verlin, also known as Dr. Jen, and when I'm not running around studying prairie dogs, chasing after owls, or hopping after lemurs, I like helping people solve some of their everyday problems. Today, I want to talk about the 4 qualities that make up a good leader. This is also timely with so many potential presidential candidates taking the stage this week for the second round of Democratic debates. With so many options, we really should consider what are the qualities that we look for in a good leader. But politics aside, if you aspire to be a leader, then what are some of the traits you should have that will make you stand apart from others? The first trait that's most often talked about is having a vision or having a plan. There's nothing worse than a leader with no vision and no plan, except maybe one that has a bad plan. Now, a great leader has a clear idea of where they want to see the company or the team or the country go, for example. And they're excited about it, and they're able to communicate that vision really clearly. Now, Canada geese may not have big aspirations when it comes to deciding where to go and when to go. But I can tell you one thing about Canada geese: they definitely don't follow another goose that has no sense of direction and doesn't know where they're going. What they do is vote. And if there's considerable disagreement between, let's say, a flock of Canada geese, they may actually split up and go in different directions. You know that goose over there that's flying in the lead? Well, the leader isn't always the leader. They rotate. The second quality that I think is sometimes overlooked is the commitment and the desire to promote the accomplishments and success of each and every team member. Because ultimately, leadership is not about serving your own ambitions. One animal that I think of that truly embodies leadership is the African elephant. In elephants, as you may already know, it's the female that forms the backbone of the group and is the leader. In fact, it's the oldest female, the matriarch. She knows where they're going, how to protect them, how to find food, how to find water, and how to cultivate the next generation of leaders. Now, how does she do this? She does this by networking with other herds. By exposing her herd to others, it helps the younger next generation of females actually become stronger and better leaders in the future. Essentially, you're cultivating loyalty and cooperation, and that cooperation can spread across an entire large network, just like these African elephants. That means that you have to give your team members a say. I know. It almost sounds democratic. Other species have democratic processes even when there is an unequivocal leader. One of my favorite animals, and one of the reasons I became a biologist that studies animal behaviors, is the love I have for gorillas. Now, it is true that gorillas have an unequivocal leader. It's the silverback. I hear they smell pretty good. He may pick the direction, okay, and he makes all of these major decisions, but the group will not move until roughly, on average, 65% of the other gorillas in the group agree. So it's kind of like a 2/3 majority. No one moves unless 65% of the gorillas agree. And how do they agree? They do this by calling. So it's almost like a vote call or a roll call. This type of consensus that gorillas reach before they make major decisions also helps build lifelong friendships among the gorillas, which, unlike elephants, are not related to each other. I want to take a minute and say that sometimes, unfortunately, there are some leaders that try to accomplish all of this through fear or force. This is incredibly unstable, and it doesn't promote cooperation. It's also a sign of poor leadership. In fact, despots, which is what we call individuals, whether they're human or other species that act this way, they are not the same as leaders. They're tyrants and dictators. Now, what characterizes despotic decision-making systems? Well, usually there's one or few individuals that try to control access to all of the resources. And the research shows that it is extremely costly, this despotic system, except to guess who? Well, the despots. Everyone else pays the price. Listen, if your aspiration is to be a despot, go for it. Just don't make the mistake of calling yourself a leader. They're not the same thing. Okay, now for our third trait, setting high standards and expectations that are still achievable. These high standards and expectations have to be applied equally to everyone. That means you don't tolerate bullies or slackers. The rest of your team will absolutely not trust you if you show partiality or if you play favorites. A simple example from the humble rat may shine some light on our own feelings when others fail to live up to the social contract of playing fair. Rats are givers. Did you know that? Did you know that this guy is a giver? I'm a giver. When presented with an opportunity to help a fellow rat access a delicious piece of banana, rats went ahead and helped a fellow rat. Why not? Give him a banana. The rat that received a piece of banana would then either help that rat back or pay it forward. But guess what? Sometimes one rat, instead of giving banana or helping another rat get a banana, they helped him by giving him a carrot. Nobody likes the rat that gives you a carrot. Giving carrots instead of bananas is selfish. As a leader, it's your job to reward those that help, share, and cooperate and pay it forward. Not those hoarders that keep all the bananas to themselves. Stop hoarding the bananas. Now, our last and perhaps most crucial trait is actually being adaptable. Have you ever heard the saying, make a plan, keep a plan, change a plan? How you handle setbacks, obstacles, and roadblocks can sometimes be much more important than how you handle a success. That means being willing to see that an aspect of your vision or your plan is actually not working and deciding when and if it's appropriate to change course. In evolutionary biology, there's this principle called the Concorde fallacy. This is based on the epic failure of the Concorde jet. When you're committing this fallacy, it means that you're staying the course because you've already invested so much energy and so much effort or money or time or other resources that you just keep investing, despite the fact that you would gain more by abandoning your position or your plan. The evidence isn't 100% clear, but it does look like some other animals, like these gray jays, may actually also surrender to the temptation, if you will, of committing the Concorde fallacy, which we can also call sunken cost syndrome. Whether it's pride or previous investment, it takes great courage to be able to recognize when something's not working, be adaptable, and pivot. Now, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. All of these 4 qualities, having a vision or a plan, promoting the success and development of your own team, third, setting high standards and expectations equally applied to everyone that are also achievable, and fourth, being able to be adaptable, all depend on one other trait: having strong, clear communication that's consistent. There you have it. What I think are the top qualities that make up a strong, effective, and ultimately great leader. Thanks for listening.